Hello everyone, today I'm going to be looking at the new and interesting units from the Wargame Red Dragon Double Nation Pack Reds, which introduced Finnish and Yugoslavian units to the game. In this video we'll be looking at the Finnish support and tanks. First up we have the ITO 79. This is a really nice unit. It looks pretty cool. It's a truck, obviously, with two missiles on the back of it. But the great thing about it is it has 4,550 meter range versus airplanes. 45% actually isn't anything special, but it does have 9 HE power, which means it can one-shot crit aircraft out the sky for 55 points. And I think that's the main thing about this unit is its price. Really, really cheap, nice AA. Although what it makes up for in firepower, it lacks in ammunition. Next up we have the ITO 90. This is a Crotal system stuck onto an XA APC. It has a 3,325 meter range versus helicopters, so that's what you're primarily going to be using it against. 60% accuracy, 6 HE power, pretty nice. 80 km/h off-road speed, which is fabulous. But I think this is actually supposed to be radar. As you can see in the top right, it does have the radar icon, although the stats on the Crotal weapon system say it is not. So I'm not sure if this was a mistake, but just something to watch out for in the future. Now we have the ITP SV Marksman. This is really cool. It's the Marksman weapon system mounted on what looks to be a T-55 hull, which is really cool. So it's pretty similar to the British Centurion Marksman, which obviously has the Centurion hull, but in this case we have the T-55 hull, and that weapon system is pretty much the same with the 2,800 meter range versus helicopters, 2,625 meters against aeroplanes, 60% accuracy, 45% stabilizer, and plenty of armor. Really, really nice unit. Good addition to the Finnish lineup. Looks a little derpy, but certainly some good bang for buck. Now we have Sergei Mod. It's a really cool truck with the ZU-23-2 weapon system on the back of it, with 2,625 meter range against helicopters. Really, really nice defensive unit. Does have, a pretty decent gun, the 35% accuracy, 1 HE power, 472 rounds per minute, and also the truck's really fast off-road, 100 km/h, which is really awesome. A nice little truck for 30 points that you could dot around, use defensively. I just think this unit's really cool, and that's why it's included in my lineup. Last up for the support tab, we have the Halacha 66, and this is very similar to the Makhmat from Israel. It has a 6 HE power mortar with 9,100 meter range. 7 rounds per minute is not anything special, but it can provide some serious fire support if you bring in multiple of them at the same time. I just love the way that it's on like a tractor. A really, really cool looking unit, and I expect to see these used as mortar of choice in quite a lot of decks. But I think the reason I like this unit the most is just the way it looks. Really, really awesome. So now we're moving on to the tanks, and we're looking at the most expensive tank that the Finnish can get, which is the 165-point T-72 M1 mod with the 2,275 meter range cannon with 70% accuracy, 40% stabilizer, and 23 AP power with 9 rounds per minute. Not too shabby at all. This has 21 front armor, 10 side armor, and it has a 70 km/h off-road speed. So a pretty nice tank for sure, that I think obviously is going to come out in a lot of Finnish decks, mainly due to it being the only super heavy or very heavy tank of choice. Furthermore, the tank just looks so cool with that armor plating. Next up we have the downgrade, the 120-point T-72, which has the same firepower as the 165-point variant, which is actually something you can't shy away from. That's a massive gun on a 120-point tank, but it basically loses all of its armor in comparison. So you're dropping 45 points and you're losing the extra armor that the more expensive tank gets. You can see that's represented by there being no longer any armor plating. But still a really cool unit, and I expect this to be used an awful lot. So here we have the T55M Matti, which the Finnish get. It's a T55 with 2,275 meter range on its cannon with 70% accuracy and 17 AP power. So this is like a long range APC popper. It will blow up those APCs very nicely. I wouldn't recommend going tank to tank, mainly due to the fact that it does have pretty low armor and it will get chewed up by HDGMs very easily. So it's a pretty situational tank where you can engage from long range. Stationary engagements though, due to the stabilizer only being 15%, but a pretty cool tank in the Finnish lineup. So finally we have the Charioteer. This is a 15-point tank which looks pretty awesome. Nice sort of World War II variant. 1,925 meter range on the cannon, 30% accuracy, 8 AP power, 3 HE power, and 8 rounds per minute. It's, you know, not terribly good. It's, you know, pretty poor for a tank, of course. But nice 5 front armor, I guess, for 15 points. It's not too shabby. I don't expect too many people to be pulling these out, but you never know. A very cool little tank for the Finnish. So that about sums it up for this video. I hope you enjoyed the quick look at some of my favourite support and tank units from Finland. Make sure to keep your eyes peeled for more videos like this, and you can always hit the subscribe button to make that job easier for you. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.